Hey everybody, and welcome back to Marvel Champions Experience. As always, I would really appreciate it if you consider liking this video. If you truly like this content, please think about subscribing. And as always drop a message down in the comments below. Let me know if you liked what you saw, if you didn't like what you saw, if you want to see something in specific, but especially on days like today, on unboxing days, let me know what you think about the new hero, right? I really want to know. So please, it always helps me out. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment. But here we are. So I just uploaded or just recorded my Angel unboxing, and if you didn't see that or just jumped to this one, I would have liked to have done this yesterday when I picked it up, but it is my daughter's birthday today, so I had a lot of things to set up yesterday. I still have a lot to do today, but I'm sneaking away for 45 minutes to get these in because I really want to see it, and I wanted to get it up for everybody else to see it to make a decision if they want to buy the new heroes. So with that being said, let's get to it. All right, as I said in my last video, but if you didn't see it, I snuck out during work yesterday, went to Manhattan. I work in Brooklyn, New York. I went to Manhattan to pick these up, and I had to rush back in time to teach my last class, which I was able to make it to. I'm a teacher, right? But priorities, am I right? New heroes, had to get them. All right, here we have our little poster. It's gonna be the same thing as that, right? And yeah, we don't need to look at that. We'll put that to the side. All right, for those of you who are new, I have my trusty nail to help me open the plastic. The story of the nail comes from, I was unboxing something a long time ago, and I couldn't get the plastic open, and I just looked to my right, and I found a nail, and that nail has been the trusty opener of all content since then. Maybe I'll give him a name one day. All right, here we are, Psylocke. Now, here's the thing. When I just did the Angel unboxing, my initial thoughts of Angel during the reveal were mid. I was not, like, too crazy on him. I didn't think he was, like, anything spectacular. It's fine. I really like Angel. Psylocke, on the other hand, I'm trying to find where the stop card is. Psylocke, on the other hand, I don't remember anything about her, but I remember thinking like, holy crap, this girl is like the confused queen, and I'm into that. Like I play true solo, so I'm all about controlling the villain, confusing, stunning. So I remember being really impressed with her kit. And as always, I don't know what's in here. I like to be surprised. I like to do like a true opinion unboxing and reaction, right? So I only know what I saw and talked about in the reveal video, but that was months ago, so I don't remember. I just remember really liking her and being, this is probably the one that I was most excited for out of all of the release cards. So let's take a look at her. All right. Psylocke, Betsy Braddock, 3 recovery. She has a hand size of 6, health of 10, a slightly above average line there with the health, right? Normally, so actually, no, I'd say it's average. 10 health. 10 health is average. Psychic Manifestation. Setup. Put your 2 Psy energy upgrades into play. Psy knife face up. So we'll look for that in a second, okay? Action. Exhaust 1 Psy energy upgrade. Shuffle a psionic energy card from your discard pile into your deck. So let's stay here for a second so we can take a look at this. So our setup is... Put your 2 Psy energy upgrades into play. Psy knife face up. So this is Psy knife, okay? And it looks like if we're on this side, we can exhaust a Psy energy upgrade. So we can exhaust one of these and put a psionic card from your discard pile into your deck. So these are going to constantly let us put, as long as we flip, and she can confuse a lot. I know that. I remember that. This is going to constantly allow us to recycle our deck. All right, so let's see what this is. They're both the same thing, so we'll just look at one of them. So this is automatically in play. It's permanent. She gets +1 thwart. Wow, so this puts her at 3 thwart, okay? Exhaust Psy Knife, generate a mental resource. You may flip this card. Okay, so she's got 2 of these in play, okay? So she's at a 3 thwart, right? And then it says, so we exhaust this. This is going to give us 2 resources off the back, and we can flip this card. So if we flip this, let's see what we got. She gets +1 attack, and her basic attacks gain piercing. Exhaust Psy Katana, generate a physical resource. You may flip this card. Okay, so we're gonna keep one on one side and one on the other side. Oh my god! And you don't actually have to flip both. You can keep 1 and 1. All right, there's a lot going on with Psylocke here. All right, so and this is gonna allow us to recycle cards into our deck, and then we flip. So Psylocke is a 1/1/2, but in reality, she's a 3/1/2. She's a 1/3/2, or she's a 2/2/2, depending on our situation and depending on what we want, because we can manipulate that at all times. So within the first 2 cards, Domino is one of my favorite heroes with how well she allows us to control our deck. Psylocke allows us to control what we want to do with our thwart and attack. And we have 2 resource generators off the bat. Initially, insane, okay? So, Psy Energy Control, Interrupt. When you use one of Psylocke's basic powers, flip 1 Psy Energy upgrade. Okay, so these are just going to constantly be flipping, and we need to be aware of what's going on, okay? We just need to, I'm going to keep these, I do need to keep these out, so I can, like, I know I'm going to have to reference those. All right, so we have Angel, 3-cost hero, which is technically 1, right? Because you got to remember, I'm just going to skim through these. I'm going to assume that these are all very expensive cards. 3, 3, 2. Yeah, I figured that. I figured that because she's got 2 resource generators at all times, right? These cards are going to be only 1 cost, essentially. So we have Angel, 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, aerial, 3 health. After you play Angel from your hand, ready your identity. Yeah, this is great. That's great, right? You know, Angel come in 2 attack. So we attack for 3 if we have the 2 Psy Katanas out. Angel comes in, deals 2 damage. Ready, Psylocke, 3 again. So that's 6, 7 damage for a 3-cost ally, which is actually a 1-cost ally with these. We have Flurry of Blades, 3 of these, 3-cost event. And this is Psionic. So remember, so like, I'm going to say Psionic, and it's going to be hard to repeat this, but her alter ego ability is going to let us put this back in our hand. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. For each Psy Knife you control, choose an enemy and confuse it. For each Psy Katana you control, choose an enemy and deal 2 damage to it. Yeah, so you are going to be able to, like, if you have 1 and 1 out, confuse, and then 2 damage. So you got a lot of options. Or if you just wanted to, 4 damage total, right? So that's great. Great card. Great card. We have 3 copies of Mental Detection, 2-cost event, another Psionic card we can put back into our deck, and a thwart. Remove 1 threat from a scheme. For each Psy Knife you control, 2 additional threat. For each Psy Katana, draw a card. So we can draw cards, we can remove threat, again, as we please, depending on what we want to do, right? Okay. 2 copies of Psychic Redirect. It's a defensive card. When you would take any amount of damage, prevent an enemy attack. From an enemy attack, prevent 2 of that damage. For each Psy Katana you control, prevent 2 additional damage. For each Psy Knife you control, confuse that enemy. So here's the confusing stuff, right? Did I say was this a stun before or confuse? I apologize. Yeah. So we already had a confuse on. We had a confuse on the attack. We have a confuse on the defense, right? So maybe making these 1/1. Sorry, maybe having a Psy Knife and a Psy Katana out was going to be the best play, and then flipping the 1 to double down on 1 either knife or katana as the situation depends, right? We have 2 copies of Telepathic Suggestion. When you reveal a card from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. For each Psy Katana you control, choose an enemy to deal 2 damage. For each Psy Knife control, remove 1 threat from a scheme. So this is great. Oh man, this is an event. So basically, you know, this just cancels the when revealed effects. I love cards like these. She's just allowing for so much control over our deck, our hand, what we want to do, and technically the enemy's deck with this Telepathic Suggestion, right? All right, we have a 1-cost support training regimen. Exhaust training regimen. Search your deck for a skill and add it to your hand. Shuffle. If you're in hero form, discard 1 card from your hand. Okay, so, I mean, this is pretty good. I haven't been taking none of these are skill cards yet. Okay, so none of these are skill cards. It looks like skill cards are coming up, okay? So we're going to want to play this for the most, unless we're desperate for something, we're going to want to play this on Alter Ego, so we don't have to discard a card. But the amount that she can confuse so far allows us to do that. So here's a skill card, so we can put this into our hand. She gets 1 defense. After she defends against an attack, discard martial arts training and ready Psylocke. Okay, so that kind of sucks, right? We're going to have to discard this card. But we can get it back with the training regimen. So she gets 1 defense, and then you can ready her. Oh, actually, no. I remember this now. I remember this. Oh, no, yeah, we have to do this. After Psylocke defends against an attack, discard martial arts training and ready Psylocke. Right. So this is going to, yeah, never mind. That's always going to get discarded. I'm sure this is the attack one. This is the, oh no, this is really good. Okay, so 1 cost upgrade, ignores guard and patrol keywords. After Psylocke thwarts, discard this, confuse the enemy. There's another confuse. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 confuses on her base kit so far. Just her base skills. And then Psylocke gains Retaliate 1. After she attacks, discard weapons training and ready each weapons upgrade you control. Wow. Okay. So you get this out. You can spend 2, ready these, and she gets the Retaliate. That's great. Yeah. She's solid. She's just a lot of control. This is a very control-heavy character, and I am all about it. All right. Great. You know what's funny? My initial impressions of her on that release video that I did, super high on her, super low on Angel. Now, after just doing this, I'm more high on Angel, I think. He just seems crazier, but this is more my play style. Controlling the enemy. I like her. I don't know which one to play first. I'm going to ask you guys. Which one you want to see first. All right. I'll put a poll up. Let's see. So she comes with Justice, which is probably my favorite to play in true solo. It's a toss-up between Justice and Protection. So we got Captain Britain, right? Brian Braddock. 3 thwart, 3 attack, both 2 consequential damage, 3 health. He takes -1 consequential damage when he thwarts a side scheme or attacks a minion. All right, so we can keep him out. I don't know. He's expensive. Maybe. Cypher. 2 cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, with each 1 consequential, 2 health. What is this? After Cypher attacks an enemy, a confused enemy, draw a card. This is actually really good. With the amount of confuse that Psylocke does, card draw is awesome. Up, we have Concussive Blow, which I already know what this is. I use this card a good amount. We have a new artwork for it, though. Confuse an enemy. If you pay for this card using a physical resource, deal 3 damage to that enemy. Yeah, this is, I already knew that I wanted to play Psylocke in Justice, like, for this card, especially with her katanas, right? You can pay for this essentially for free. The hardest part with this card was getting it out. It's 3 costs, right? But with her katanas, this is only 1 cost, and one of those is going to be a physical resource anyway. So this is 9 confused you can do, right? Upside the Head. That sounds awesome. I don't even know what it does. 1 cost event. After your hero makes a basic attack and damages an enemy, confuse that enemy. Oh my god. After your hero makes a basic attack and damages an enemy, confuse that enemy. If the enemy is already confused, stun it instead? Shut up. Oh my god, Psylocke. Alright, here we have our player side scheme. Lay the trap. 1 cost to put it out. It's got 3 threat on it. The player who defeated this scheme deals 5 damage to the villain. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. It's 1 cost, and she probably will have the 3 thwart on her. So it's 1 cost, essentially. You have the option of making her a 3 thwart, right? So for 1 resource, technically a free resource, right? Because her katana, this is basically just a 5 damage card. for one. It's like a 1 cost for 5 damage or 0 cost for 5 damage. That's great. Now I'm remembering why I like her. Like, her kit was solid. It's these cards that were really, really good. Float like a butterfly. 2 cost upgrade. 1 per player. When a character you control attacks a confused enemy, increase the amount of that attack deals that enemy by 1. Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is just like that. I think it's the aggression card, Fluid Motion, right? The Fluid Motion card, which gives you plus another 1 attack. All right. Those are our Justice cards. Here come our basic cards. Pete Wisdom. I have never heard of you. 4 cost ally. Very expensive. 3 thwart, 2 consequential, 2 attack, 1 consequential, 3 health. Fairly standard stat line. You need to be an X-Force person to use this. After you resolve the 1 revealed effects of a treachery card, heal 1 damage from Pete Wisdom. Not bad. Not bad, right? If you just keep him out for that 2 attack and just keep healing, he's a free 2 damage each turn. Really depends on what you draw with him when you get him out. We have 3 copies of a Directed Force. 0 cost event. When your hero makes an attack that has the keyword overkill, piercing, or ranged, that attack deals 2 additional damage. I know she has something in there that does that, right? So this is not bad, especially for 0 cost. 0 cost for 2 additional damage, but it's a little situational. But you can always use it for a resource. Here's that Soaring Hearts card from Angel, right? And it's actually really good. 2 cost event, right? Search your discard pile for an identity-specific event. Add to your hand, ready, Angel and Psylocke. It's very good, but I hate these cards in True Solo. They're just impossible to get out. Like, you need to have Angel out. He needs to be alive. Then you need to draw this. But can we also take a look at Angel's mullet that I didn't notice in the first one? Good old 80s Angel's mullet. All right, and just like Angel, it looks like Psylocke is not getting the 2 double cost resource cards and is instead getting this Power of the Mind, which I don't hate. A lot of her cards were psionic, although they're not psionic in this Justice area. Angel's, on the other hand, had the aerial cards here. She doesn't have a lot of psionic cards here. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to swap these out for the double resources because I think that's going to be the better play. That's going to be actually a much better play. All right, we have IPAC, or 1PAC, not to be confused with 2PAC. 1 support. It's a vehicle, X-Force. You can only use this if you have the X-Force trait. Exhaust IPAC, hero action, and deal 1 face-down encounter card to a player. That player draws 2 cards. I'll tell you this right now, never playing this card. I'm never playing this card. I'm never playing this card. I play the odds a lot, and, I try to not to be too risky. And why would I want an extra encounter card for 2 cards? That just doesn't seem right. Like, I don't want an option to get Shadows of the Past. For 2 cards? No thanks. X-Bunker. 2 cost support. It's a location, X-Force. It's an action. Exhaust this and choose a player whose identity has the mutant trait. That player searches the top X cards of their deck for any card, where X is the number of side schemes in the victory display, and adds that card to your hand. Okay, it's fine. This seems like a card that's actually good for Cable and not Psylocke. So I'm going to have to look at Cable. It might want to be a Cable card. I don't think this is a new card. I mean, I think this is a new card. Yeah, I think it is. 1 cost upgrade, Telepathy. Play if you only have the psionic trait. Exhaust Telepathy. Spend 2 mental resources. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. That just seems like a lot. You need 1 to get it out, and then you need 2 mental to use it to remove 2 threat. Like, yeah, it's probably good with Psylocke with her resource abilities, like her Psy Katanas and stuff. It just seems like a lot. for 2 threat. I don't know. All right, so those are her Justice cards. I love the Justice cards. I don't like the basic cards. I don't like the basic cards at all. I don't think they're that good. So, I was going to play the pre-con of her, and I think I am going to play the pre-con of her, but I'm just swapping out those basic cards. I don't like them. All right, let's take a look at this. We're not going to take a look at these. We don't usually get these too much out, but Chimera is the villain, right? So, the Nemesis. Let's take a look at this one because Angels is actually kind of rough. Body swapped. You cannot flip your Psykatana upgrades. When revealed, flip each of your energy upgrades to its Psykatana side and exhaust it. Discard 1 psionic card from your hand. Discard this obligation. Yeah, this is also kind of rough, right? You're losing 2 resources. You got to discard a card to get this out. It's not as bad as Angels, but it's not fun. All right, so let's take a look at what other cards we have to add to our deck. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Angels had a similar thing where it was just 1 for each. And yeah, and I was going to say, I was assuming it's going to be psionic because I was assuming it was going to be psionic because that's how Angels went. It was all aerial. So we have 3 copies of Psi Bow Attack for aggression. Only psionic can use this. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. This attack gains range. 2 costs for 4 energy. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We have Domino. 3 cost ally. She is a posse member. 1 thwart, 2 attack. 3 health. Pretty good line, actually. After you use one of Domino's basic powers, swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. So this is cool because this is basically what Domino's, the true hero, does. I like this a lot. I think this is very good. Psi Flail Strike. Play only if your identity has a psionic trait. After you defend against an enemy attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy and stun it. Yeah, that's great. Love that. This is what is it? Tackle? This is Tackle. But oh, actually it's one more. Actually, you know what? It's not great. I'm off the top of my head, guys. I'm sorry. I think it's Tackle, right? The defensive card, the defensive event. I think it's 1 cost. Oh, but you know what? Tackle, you have to take no damage to stun the enemy. This is just after you defend an attack. Deal 3 damage and stun it. So this is on par with Tackle because Tackle again, I might be saying it wrong. And I actually don't think it's Tackle. It's the other one with Miss Marvel on it. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Where you defend, you get +2 defense. If you take no damage, deal, I think it's 3 damage and stun the enemy. So this doesn't give you the plus damage. So you can just stun deal 3 damage and stun it. So I think it's a wash. I think it's basically the same card as the other one because it's the other one is 1 cheaper, but you get the +2 defense. This is 1 more, but you don't get the +2 defense. So I think it's a wash, but I think it's very good for Psylocke. And Telekinesis. All right, 1 cost upgrade. Exhaust Telekinesis, spend 2 mental resource, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Now, unlike the other one, Telepathy, I actually think this one's worth it. I think 2 mental resources for 3 damage is better than 2 mental resources for 2 threat. My opinion. My opinion. Just the way I play. So, maybe I'll swap this out for the other one and try this one. But there you go. There are the Psylocke cards, the pre-con. Hopefully I can get her to the table tomorrow, but I gotta see how the day goes. But I'll put a poll up to see which one you guys want to see first, because honestly, that's what I care about. I want to make something that you want to see. So I hope you all enjoyed her, and take care, everybody. Peace.